The hardest thing about creating a digital escape room is coming up with the clues. So here are the top 5 clues you can use in your next digital escape room that have worked amazingly in all of my escape rooms. The first clue is a number lock. So this number lock, it could be the answer to a math equation. To make it a little harder, you could have two math equations so students get two answers, but in order to get the number lock combination, they have to add those two numbers together. And that's the clue. So, a couple different ways you can make it easier, harder, depending on your age level. Clue number 2 is a letter lock. Now, this one is just how it says it's letters, not a word. So these letters don't make sense. So you could have a couple different examples. If you're reading text, maybe you have a paragraph for your students to read about the main character of the story or just a snippet. And they have a comprehension question. You could have a picture of that paragraph, and then you have highlighted certain letters or have bolded certain letters within that text. So students are answering the question, but the answer to the clue is actually all of those bolded letters put in order how they read it. And those letters are the answer to the clue to make it kind of a little harder. I've also used a cipher. So my students have gotten a number answer, but then I had an alphabet cipher. So A equals 1, B equals 2. So that number they had to translate into letters. So really, it's a lot of get creative, a lot of different ways to use these clues. Clue number 3 is a word lock. Now, this one is how it says it's a word. So it is the word to a question. Maybe it's one word you're learning about the presidents or a president or a certain time in history, and the word is the answer. You have a definition, the vocab word is the answer. You could also, going back to that example where you have a paragraph text, certain letters bolded, those bolded letters can make a word as well. And then that's the answer they type in. Number 4 is a color lock. So something to do with colors. Now this could be I've had a that same paragraph with text, those bolded letters make the word that spells out a color. I have done a text message picture, and in that text message, it's texting between like two students about a project, and they're making sure they have enough materials for the project. So they're like, I have a blue poster board. Well, I have a silver Sharpie and a blue Sharpie. Perfect. I have a yellow crayon. So it has to do with colors. So you got a hint. Oh, maybe this one has something to do with colors. And the answer was actually the first letter of all those colors in order. So kind of that letter lock, but playing on the color example where you use colors in it to give that hint to the color of the lock. The fourth one is the actual answer to the question you are solving. Now, this one is the easiest to put into your escape room. You have your task, you have your question, and the answer to that question that you're helping teach. That's your multiplication word problem, as in my example, your answer to your comprehension question. That answer is the answer that will move them and progress them forward through your digital escape room. It's just the answer to the question. These clues can be changed in so many different ways depending on the age of your learners. You want to make them just the right difficulty where it's not too hard, where they're just not even understanding how to get to that answer versus too easy where it's like, "Oh, I definitely know that." So you wanna mix in all sorts of different kinds of clues to keep them on their toes, but you also don't want it too hard. You gotta find a good balance for your students. If you need to give them hints to kind of guide their direction, that's okay. Sometimes they're going to go down a rabbit hole. Oh, I think it's this. Or they're just super close, but just kind of missing it. Go ahead and give them a hint. That's totally fine. And if you're ready to create your own digital escape room, then click that link down below in the description box, and I'll see you inside the digital workshop where I'll walk you through how to create this, your very own digital workshop so your classes can be unique. You can engage your students in just a fun way. You'll be able to take your classes to the next level when you sprinkle in digital escape rooms into your curriculum, into your classes. Your students will be having so much fun raising their hand. We're ready to practice and answer the next question.